Probably my least favorite thing to do is crawl under a house. Especially my house. Well, ooh, wow. It feels wet. Oh, it is quite humid here. All right, on the agenda today. Wow, there's so much moisture down here. I guess I'm gonna have to address that. I was hoping I wouldn't have to, but I think I do. Shoot. Yeah, dang it. This is one of the problems about a crawl space in the south. They are wet. In fact, you could probably see a little further down, insulation's falling down. It gets these little strings. That's the it's the water vapor actually condensing on the end of the fiberglass, and it weights it down. I had a bigger problem before. Actually had a water leak down underneath the bathrooms, so it was contributing to it. And then I thought that the edges of the what am I trying to say? I'm already exhausted. I don't even want to do this, but I have to. The flower beds, yeah, were too low, and so whenever we'd get a heavy rain, the water would come in, and that was absolutely part of it. But as I see now, that's not the whole problem. There is literally water on top of this. That's just condensation. And it feels like outside in here. Which makes sense because outside is in here since all of my vents are open, which is what you're supposed to do, quote unquote, in the summer. Oh, look at that. That's water. Oh, that might actually be, well, that's probably just more condensation from the cold. Let's say that's the condensate line for my AC. But I mean, it's not a big deal. Not good, but anyway. So yeah, conventional wisdom was you're gonna have this great airflow in the summer, and you want to make sure that you open up the crawl to get that wonderful airflow. Well, down here, at least in July, the air is mostly water. It's like 90% water. Well, maybe not, but it's 90% humidity, and it is unpleasant. I guess I'm gonna go shut the vents after this because this is insane. Like the ground, it's nice and cool. That's why it's condensing, obviously, because the ground is what, usually 50 degrees. It's not that any longer here. Oh, I was gonna say sorry I don't have a light. I forgot my headlamp. Stupid. I wish they would have put at least one more block on this crawl space. Not two. Oh, there's a lot of water there. This is the corner of the house. I don't know where that's from. We haven't had rain. Well, we had rain yesterday, but I don't think it was a lot. It's not there. These are the lines for the sink. guess it could be coming from the drain up there. Maybe. But I don't feel anything. Just ran the sink. So that just might be more condensation, because it's probably exactly what it is, because of the vent right there. So that's the first condensing surface that air gets. And oh my god, I can't believe how hot it is under here. Like, I had no idea. I think it's the first time I've been under my house in the summer. Or, yeah, I'm usually under here, never. But recently I've been under here just in the spring because I'm doing some remodeling. Yeah, I added that line. Isn't that pretty? Little 2-inch line to drain the laundry sink. And today's project is to connect the supply side of the laundry sink and also the toilet, which is going to be over there. Oh, God. Yeah, I started my diet on Sunday, and it's going really well. I'm actually down like 6 or 7 pounds, maybe 8. I didn't weigh myself today or yesterday. But I started out doing a sort of an extended fast. I was gonna try to go 5 days, but I lasted 3. But that's pretty good for me. Oh my god, I'm absolutely roasting. I have a like a jumpsuit that I've been wearing because, you know, it's gross down here. So that doesn't help. But it's, man, it's gotta be at least, hey, there's my finger. 80, maybe even 90 degrees, but the humidity is stupid. It's thick. Okay, so I gotta put those 2 PEX into the copper lines that are running to the washing machine. And then, oh, here's my guys. So those 2, the white one's a vent. That's somehow I'm gonna sneak in here. I don't think I need to vent the toilet, but I'm gonna, in case I do. So the toilet's gonna be like toilet flange pipe is gonna be right there. So I don't know how that's gonna work now that I look at it. I might have to come into this bay from up top and then drop down. I've got to go, man, all the way into the depths of hell down there. It's probably 30 feet to the main line. So I got plenty of fall, but I think I have plenty of fall, but I don't want to start too low. I guess I could look at the drain lines over here and see. Alright, well, so I've got about a foot, if that works, and I guess it did, since it passed some inspection in 92. Alright, so I've got room. I guess I could, if the sanitary tee for the toilet clean out is going to be about a foot down from here, then that vent line could probably come in about there. So, okay, fine. I've been procrastinating doing this. I know why. You don't have to speculate, because it's not fun. I am on my back, and that's how much space I have from my elbow to my fingers. Beep. It's barely 2 feet down here, which for some areas in the country Actually, in this area of the country, on older homes, this is a lot of room. I've been under one house before, way back when I was younger and thinner. It was like a foot. I could barely squeeze my body. And yeah. So this is luxury, baby. All right. Well, I have to cut the water off, and I've drained what I can out of the lines upstairs. Opened up the bib outside, and then I don't have a way of draining the hot side of the, which means that whatever's in this pipe that runs all the way down there and up into, I have no idea when I turned that off. Probably a long time ago. Oh, well. Yeah, the project at hand is to connect those PEX lines. There's those. Hey, there's those. To the copper. Those supply the laundry sink. I already did this a couple weeks ago. Pretty. I still have to attach it to the frame. Anywho, so what I was saying, I don't know how much of that was actually recorded, but the water is still in at least the hot side because I didn't have a way to drain that, and probably also on the cold side, but I think the outside bib is lower than all of this, so that shouldn't be too bad. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my handy little cutter. First I'm going to clean up the pipe around it, and I wish I could show you this while I do it, but I can't because I don't have a tripod. I'm just now kind of getting into vlogging, and it was sort of last minute that I thought, hey, I'll just take my camera down. This is actually my phone. Take my phone down because I have to call my wife and tell her to turn on the water. But while I go in there, I'd record and talk to you because it helps me not think that I'm going to be buried alive in my crawl space. Not that I'm really thinking that, but now I am. Oh boy. All right. I wish I could set you up, but I can't. So I'll just come back later and maybe show you what I did. All right. So I cleaned up the pipe for where I'm going to make my cuts because it's easier to do that now than when it's in two pieces, and it's a lot drier now, even though it's 100% humidity down here. There's a spider. So that was the first step. Clean that up. Now the next step is to take my handy dandy pipe cutter and start cutting. Let's see. We got it set for a big old pipe. This is fun doing this one-handed. I feel like a real YouTuber. All right. I can hear my air conditioner turn on. Wish I could feel that down here. That'd be amazing right now. But I can't. Oh, that's right. I was gonna try to move stuff away from the drop zone here. Hey, that's a really, if you ever have to crawl under a house, and other than the fact that you've done something horribly wrong, you've made some terrible choices in your life, but what can make that feel better is one of these little tubs. Yeah, you can use that as like a little shovel to get all your stuff in. That's free for you. It's a free tip, from a handy homeowner here. So if you've never done plumbing, and I have no idea why you're watching this, if you've never done plumbing and you're watching me do plumbing, but just on the off chance that that's you. Oh, I keep forgetting. I need to move this stuff back because There we go. All right, cool. Because it's going to get real wet right there. It's really not that hard. Like, the worst part about plumbing is that part. Is that there's usually water in plumbing. Plumbing is usually wet, typically. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, you really don't want to drop that in the water. So I may have mentioned in the previous little bit here that I had got most of the water out, but so what's nice about what's nice about these guys is you don't have to worry about that continuing to drip, because it will continue to drip, and even when you think you've got it all done, it still drips because, you know, it's a pipe. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. You can just pop those on there, and even if it's wet, even if water is pouring out, you can put a shark bite on, which is pretty cool. I'll let that drip a little bit because I don't want to lay in that, and it's weird. It's exactly below where I need to be working. I don't know how that worked. Oh yeah, I know why. It's gravity. That's pretty close. So now I can't just put this in here. Well, actually I could just slip this right in here, and it would work as far as coupling those two pipes back together. But the astute among you would understand that there would be no room for the water to actually come that way. So I have to cut another bit off, and they probably have a 1 inch, 2 inch. Remove 2 inch section of pipe. Oh, yeah. So I have to. I really think about this because it's the first time I've done it. Realize that I probably needed to move that cleaning back a bit, which is fine, no big deal. All right, so I'm going to cut 2 inches of that, and then I'll come back. So this is going to be a fun angle. It's the best I could do. Well, actually, no, it's not the best I could do. Yeah, it's the best I could do. Maybe I could just go up that way. Oh, look at that. Man, I'm like a pro. All right, so I apologize for the lack of interest here, but I mean, I should get you mostly there. I wish I had another camera. I actually have my phone wedged between the top of the gas line and the bottom of the floor joist because I'm me. Okay. So 2 inches out. It's gonna get us to about there. Not a piece of memory paper. Guess I'll just do another one. Oh God. You're gonna hear the real, how it really feels here, because it's not fun. Do you remember when I said I was real clever and I had cleaned off the pipe beforehand because it was easier? Yeah, that's why I cleaned off just enough to not be good. I don't know how important that is, strictly speaking. Probably is, but what's a little bit of dirt between friends? In hindsight, shoot. Hey, I found memory paper. I lost my tape measure. I mean, where could it go? I have moved literally 3 inches. Is it back here? I don't know. Oh, I found it. Hey, look, found it. I told my wife that I've been trying to talk since I was a kid. I've been procrastinating doing this for a while. Hey, spider. There's an amazing amount of spiders in my crawl space. Like, I don't know how they live. Maybe they just eat each other. Because I don't think there's anything like flying around down there. But who knows? I was telling my wife that I was going to do both plumbing jobs. I've lost. What sucks about this is I'm on my back because I think I mentioned this before. I really don't have room. Like, I can kind of lay on my side, but then what do you do? Like, you got to be a contortionist, which I'm not. So anywho, I was telling my wife, my beautiful wife, who is so loving and patient, that I didn't want to die under the crawl. I really should quit smoking. That I was going to try to do all the plumbing. So I had like all the PVC fittings that I was going to use for the toilet and the vent line. So I got all that ready and I put it in that black little tote thing that I bought for it, and I had it all set up. This was last Saturday, and I just decided last minute that I didn't want to do it because of this. Because I innately knew that this is a job that I really didn't want to do, but I had to do it because I started it, and it would have been a lot better to wait to put that drain pipe in after I put this in. But I got the building permit. Gosh, when did we do this? I think I got it in December of last year, like COVID times. And on the building permit, I said I was going to add a half bath to our laundry closet, and I wanted the half bath because my wife teaches piano out of our converted garage, which is like right behind you. And not that it's a problem for the kids that, come into my house. They don't typically do it. But usually when a kid has to go use the bathroom for during their lesson, like, it's an emergency. And so, like, I didn't want that to be, I don't want them taking a dump in my girl's bathroom. So I thought, well, this would be great. I'll enlarge the laundry closet, and I'll put a toilet and obviously a laundry sink in there, and then that can be used for the studio. So she got all excited about that because, who wouldn't? That's an awesome thing. And also, I'm not sure what that was in there, but it'll be fine. Okay, I think that feels good. Oh, God. Where was I? Oh, our youngest is upstairs above the garage. There's a room that's finished up there, which is right off the kitchen. So she now could, use that little bathroom as well. And plus, it's, it's like $20,000 or more, probably now, that it adds value to the home, just having another half bath. So I decided to do all that, and I decided to do all that really before I started medication for anxiety. So it was really the right thing to do at that point. Like, I had to totally commit to that. Well, here we are 7 months later, 8 months later, and I no longer have anxiety. So I'm like, I don't want to do this. So here's the little shark bite thing. This is a slip tee. So the regular shark bites have a, yeah, you can see it, a little brass, has a stop. What's cool about these, if you don't know, and of course you do, so I'm just going to pretend. I'm going to mansplain for you because that's what we do as men. You depress this section and it pulls those little teeth back, and use a tool like this. They also have like a clamp type thing. Anyway, and that releases the teeth on the shark bite, and then you can slide it. So you put this in all the way basically to that stop, or till you get past the pipe, and then you depress this one, and then you push it back. So I've been told. I have never done this before, so we are learning together, and I'm really glad you're here with me, because if I was just talking to myself down here, which I usually do anyway, it would be much worse, because that's where they send people away, is when you do that. Okay, let's do this. So, like, you don't really need much room here. I mean, we're talking 3/4 of an inch to get past that. Oh, you know what? I just realized, since I'm going to be sliding this thing all the way up here. See? First time. We learned lots of things the first time. I'm going to want to clean that up. One of the problems that I really didn't consider is, it is stupid humid down here. And in my defense, I didn't know. So, and B, now I'm wet, but I was wet before this, but now I'm really wet because, the water's coming out of the pipe because I cut a hole in it. It's weird. Now, all the sand, the really fine sand that they put down on the crawl space, is sticking to my hand, which means everything I touch is now full of sand. It's gritty. So I didn't really think about that. And do you think I brought a rag? No, silly. Why would I do that? I brought everything else. Rags? We don't need no stinking rags. All right. So I'm cleaning this part of the pipe because it's rusty. I didn't know copper rusted. That's weird. Huh. I'll be. So that when I put that slip coupler on there, that it doesn't mess up the O-ring. I'm assuming there's an O-ring. There's got to be some kind of a seal. Maybe it's not a ring, maybe it's some plastic. I don't know what it is. It's something. It's some magic part in that shark bite connector that keeps things clean. The good thing about the water that just continues to drip is that in circumstances like this, where you need it clean, it's nice. It's kind of exactly what I needed, because I didn't have a rig. Okay, now there we go. So I don't know if I've managed to keep the dirt out of this thing. No, of course not. And if you're a plumber and you happened upon this video, I'm sorry. I don't claim to know anything. I'm just a DIYer. But I'm willing to try. And I'm also willing to call if I mess it up. But I think the chances of me messing this up are pretty slim. Okay, so I've got all that. Now, I just want to apply pressure, I'm guessing, and pull this into the fitting. All right, nice. Oh, that's convenient. So you probably can't see this. Yeah, you can. This side of the pipe moves too. Huh, neat. So, pro tip, had I known that, I wouldn't have had to put it back this far. I could have put it back to just the point where I needed it, and then I could have pushed this back. And now I wouldn't have to release that clamp. But because I'm not a pro, and because this tutorial on all things shark bait is what we're doing today, I'm going to show you how to move it. Okay, so that wants to be like right there, pretty much. Well, now I've got to, connect the dots. So you slap this little guy over, and you depress it, and you depress it while, oh, look at that, see that? I was able to move it. Now I can, because I wanted to make sure we do it right, because I do it twice. We'll do that again. It's important to note that when you think that you've moved it far enough and you're excited about that, and you go to, push in this side, that side will still move. So, pro tip, hold this side and then get this side in. Oh, look at that. It's like it was designed for it. Now, I think we're good. In situations where you don't have this much latitude for the pipes moving, I think it would be actually probably be easier, because you wouldn't have this sort of situation. Okay, so that's one. Oh, gosh, it seems like I've been here all day. All right, now that's working. Isn't it lovely how it just keeps, hey, watch out for the blue thing, keeps dripping. All right, I do know a little bit about these because I've experimented and I've done them wrong. But you're gonna want to make sure, oh, and I think, now that I just said that, I forgot my cutter. That sucks. So they make, you can cut this any way you want, but I believe it's got to be like perfectly square on the end in order for it to seal. And so because I forgot my cutter to make this a little bit shorter, I'm just gonna give us some wiggle room here and use this. Now, the good thing about this is that, and I would show you like how much slack is over here, but I'd have to move the camera and I'll never get it back where it is. I'm not doing that. Is that I can come back down, because I will be back down here someday. Someday when the memories of today are gone, and I don't know when that will be. It could be years. It could be decades. Because I have to finish plumbing the toilet thing. I can just go ahead and release this part, pull that line out, cut it back. I need to take about a foot of this off. It's going to be fine for now, but I need to pull that back and then just push it back in. So that's great, right? That's it. So I've made sure that I've seated that. That we've established is seated. There we go. One down. And then I've got the next one here. So let's see if I can get. I thought about bringing, I thought I had everything I needed, but obviously I don't. I thought about bringing some more of the wires to hold up the insulation, but of course I didn't bring those either, because that would be that'd be a beautiful view right there for you all. So we'll just let that sit there, and then gravity, of course, will do what she does and pull things to the middle of the earth. All right, one down, one to go. Oh, shoot, I forgot. I'm gonna have to go up and get my cutter, which means I'm gonna have to crawl all the way back and all the way back, because I really need to put a T in this line to supply the toilet. Great. The good news is the spiders don't move much. They just stay where they are, so that's nice. But apparently I'm not what they want to eat, which is great. Where I'm from originally, Minnesota, we have basements. God, I miss basements. All right. So Except you. Let us do the same thing again. So this time, I know that this is the end of my cut. Start on that side. Does anybody listen to Billy Joel anymore? My wife really likes him as an artist. I don't know why. I mean, I guess he's fine, but he seems like a not very nice dude. Anyway. I mean, like Chrissy Brinkley, you gave that up, dude. Huh? I bet she did have a Backstreet guy. And I'm sure her mama told her why. Oh gosh. Okay, so this could be fun because this is the hot side. Oh. Well, that is, how does that work? I'm trying to get my head around that. Where did the hot water go? Oh. There it is. It's going down into here where I thought it was going to go. Okay. Oh, I was going to wear a mask, but I don't have to worry about dust because it's literally raining in my crawl space. So that's a benefit. But and the good news is that because it's so wet, the mold spores aren't really a problem either because they're growing. I don't know how critical it is that you go 2 inches or not, but because I'm here and I have my fancy Sharpie, and I'm just gonna put that there to keep it out of the dirt. And you're all, paying attention because you're watching YouTube when you should be working. So what do you think about working from home? I've been working from home since the start of the pandemic in March of 2020. And I love it. I didn't have a huge commute compared to a lot of people, but it was huge to me because I suffer with a generalized anxiety disorder. And so really every day was, I guess for normal people, it would be like if you, gosh, what are most people afraid of? A bat. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. You had a bat flying around in your house. That's how most of my days felt to me, because I wish you'd just not get in my way, insulation. Because that's how my body thought things were. So it was super stressful for me. Even though because I had dealt with it my entire life, I kind of thought that's how it was supposed to be. That, I didn't like the city, or I didn't like traffic or whatever else. Which, I mean, I guess that's a real thing because, I don't prefer it. But now, it's like, okay, there's traffic. Oh boy. Before it, man, I would plan my whole day around traffic. Like I would leave the office at a certain time every day just so I didn't have to deal with traffic. And mind you, it's not bad. Like, in fact, for most metropolitan areas, it's nothing. Like, it was a 20-minute drive, and it was like 2 intersections where I had to deal with zipper merges. It's nothing, but it was scary for me. So I like it because I don't have to deal with that anymore. Not so much traffic, but just the anxiety. But the working from home has been great because it helped me to kind of heal a little bit. last year before I got diagnosed. And I guess the time just with my own thoughts and not having the thing, like the reason, I was really big on that, which is probably a coping mechanism. Sorry, I'm coughing, I'm dying. It's okay. Tell my wife I love her and my kids. I had rationalized why I felt the way I did based on the circumstances that I was in. So in this case, it was traffic. It was all these people. It was the, whatever. And, but once I no longer had that excuse, I still felt the same way. It was like, wait a minute. Whoa, what's up here? I'm literally in the next room. Like, my commute was 5 inches. I was working, and I apologize for my coughing, but I am dying. And really, if you think about it, we all are. I was working with the best people, like my family, my wife, who I absolutely love. She's amazing. And I still, had the same feelings. I still had those, panic attacks and things like that were just mild, but... All right, so we're pushing that. There we go. Now, you want to make sure you seat this into that. There, I think it went. There it went. Oh, I should probably double check that. There. All right. Where was I? So yeah, I was still feeling the same way. And I didn't have any reason. Zero reason. The transition to home was seamless. My boss was great. The work was, the same stuff. It was mild. I couldn't have had an easier life at that point. Now I had some stress because of the house, because I started the remodel. But even that, I had, there was no urgency there because, my wife is really cool that way. But I realized in that moment that man, there's something else going on here. And so I went and I got some help. And it's been really, really good. When you want water, that's when it doesn't show. Oh, look, there it is. Yay! Okay. And push that in. Double check that. I think it's important on these to always, kind of make sure you've got them in. All right. Well, that's as far as I can go right now. So I'm going to check with the wife and give her a call. Okay. Water is turned on and it didn't leak. It was kind of neat. I could actually see the water filling up this pipe and hear it. It was magical. So as I mentioned, I've got to shorten the cold, but I also have to... This is going to be the most seasick video ever. I have to connect that PEX line to that one anyway. So I have to be back down here. So I'm going to go back and pick up my cutter, and then crawl back down here. But I think first I can crawl out of here. Before I do that, I'm going to address this humidity issue down here, because this is no bueno. And I'm going to close my vents. Oh man, I can't believe I did that on camera. What was I thinking? Because I don't see how this could be good to let a bunch of hot, wet, humid air come into your crawl space that has a condensing surface here and here. Doesn't make any sense to me. So comment below if you think I'm crazy or why it makes sense to have humid air in your crawl. I got nothing. I'm just gonna cut this now. All that's left now is the crying. All right, we're done. So I've got my insulation, pipe insulation. There's the cold water side. That one runs over and is insulated. They're both insulated to the outside wall, at least for the end of it. And they don't leak. So I got that guy connected. And everything's fine. I was unhappy about having to crawl all the way back out again, and dude, all right, that's all I've got. Next on the agenda is to run a toilet flange up there, and then a 3-inch waistline will be down there. But that will not be today because I am done being down here. All right, now let's see what's next.